From the automotive capital of the world, we get a look at a venue that pays homage to that industry. Welcome to Ford Field here in Detroit, Michigan. Coming up, we have a good one for you. Between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
The punter Jack Fox to get this one started. And we're off and running from Ford Field. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. McCarthy throwing right away. And his first offering of the game winds up incomplete. Comes up empty on that one. And now they face second down.
Second and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Now put one of the tight ends in motion. Second and 10, McCarthy. As a man, Justin Jefferson. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
First and 10, it's McCarthy. Pass is caught, it's T.J. Hawkinson. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Felton, the man in motion. Again, McCarthy to throw. Hits his running back. He works it down to the 37. Kirby Joseph up for the stop.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and then netted some positive yards.
2nd and 6 coming up here. McCarthy fires out wide, complete. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
You keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Quick slant to Hawkinson. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
And he's going to be dropped with a big hit at the end of that. But the effort still sets him up with a first and goal.
Minnesota.
Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
I'm not going to lie. I know they got a completion, and completions, you never turn them down. But to make that throw for those yards in the double coverage, there's way too much risk for that reward.
Ball at the 2 here for 2nd and goal. Motioning one of the tight ends. Another throw here for McCarthy. And he takes this in. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings finish up an excellent opening series. Well, no hesitations to start this one out, Brock. These guys came out slinging it. Seems like that's going to be what their offense leans on throughout this game.
Yep, don't see really any reason to get away from it as long as the results keep coming. The second drive, we'll all be watching that one. Will they mix in a little bit more run? Will they have to mix in more run, or could they continue to just shred this defense through the air?
Here's Reichard set to kick this away. Devin Duvernay to return it. And they've got a long field ahead, Brock. They got to him early, and they laid a big hit on it.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Detroit offense to the line. Here's first and 10. Off play action, Cobb. This is thrown towards a defender instead. Man, he's the one who makes a play on football. That's not what this offense wants. Incomplete on first down. Not must-have yet, Brock, but it does feel pretty important that they come up with an answer for that touchdown, but not going to be easy.
Nope, and incompletions like that certainly won't help.
After the incompletion, they come up on second and 10. First game on the ground to Jahmyr Gibbs. And he's taken down after a very productive effort there, Brock, up to the 40-yard line.
It's a
gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
That's good.
I can assure you of one thing. That carry just brought some extra work in the opening quarter. You couldn't script that run any better.
Here we go. 11.
First down, and they go right back to it. And that's good for a gain of 5. That was Jonathan Allen on the tackle.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Run picks up 6, so that means it's second and 4.
Hey, kill. 180.
Gone. Finds his man. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown. They get 6 and a first down as well.
I feel so bad. I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today, because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
Ball just a yard shy of midfield. First and 10.
Here goes tonight. 180. Hey, tonight.
Off the gut they go with Gibbs. He's tackled there, so a nice start to a new set of downs, but let's see if they keep it. Let's examine this flag. Well, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. Double the distance to go after that holding call. It's now first and 20. And they just get the play off. And that is how our first quarter will end, as that pass falls incomplete. We're a quarter of the way through on this chilly winter afternoon. The Vikings have played to an early lead. We're back to Ford Field right after this. Back and beginning the second quarter. Lions in possession. They have second down behind the sticks.
20. Obama. Turbo.
Out of the shotgun. Goff. This is going to be incomplete again. Defender knocks this one away. It brings up third down.
Such a big part of that breakup, Kate, or any breakup as a corner, is your positioning relative to the target. And really, the timing of it all. You could be in the right spot, but if you don't time it, that ball is still caught at this league. That corner played that one nearly perfectly.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here.
Hold on. Check. Okay.
Here he goes, third and long. Has a man downfield. It's Laporta. They're going to bring him down, but not until he gets it down to their 32-yard line. So a new set of downs. Here we go, first and 10.
Go tonight.
Straight ahead with Gibbs. Bounce outside. He has a little bit there. About 3 yards. That's going to bring up second down.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Finds Isaac to Slaw. Complete. And he's out of bounds on a gain that takes him into the red zone, Brock, inside the 15.
It's a gain of 16
That's 16
yards.
on the pickup.
That's good.
And that is good for Detroit first down.
That's a statement throw right there. A statement throw that lets the opposing defense know it's not just going to be check down Charlie today. They're going to be willing to push the ball down the field, and this defense better respond.
On first down, it's Gibbs. And he's going to get forward for a gain of about 7 on that run. It's second down.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Cut. 180. Orange. Turbo set.
This is Gibbs on second down. Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain. So, Brock, that means third down coming up. So the run goes backwards. What do you think, Brock? Is it time that they start getting a little more aggressive, take some more risks offensively?
Not in my book. You've not earned that right. I think a lot of play callers feel that same way, too. Man, you get to earn the right to be aggressive and take shots when you can do the basics like, I don't know, run for a positive gain.
20.
Third down run by Gibbs. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Ryan Neal on the tackle. A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 4th and 1.
All right, they're going for this. I like this being aggressive from the get-go on their opening drive.
Here we go. Hey, Cal. 180.
Here we go with Montgomery. And they stop him. No touchdown, no first down. That's a turnover on down near the end zone.
It's a turnover.
I think this defense was resigned to giving up 3 points on the opening series. Instead, well, they got the chance to deny them anything. And boy, did they ever attack it.
McCarthy operating from the pistol. It's loose. Line ball inside the end zone. And a defender's on it. This is a touchdown. The Lions finish off their opening drive. On comes Joshua Carty to try the extra point. Right down the middle. It's good. And the Lions tie this game 7-7. Now, after that play, we've got somebody shaken up, and you don't want to see serious injury in the midst of their playoff push. He's being looked at here. Nice little energy on their sideline after that fumble return scored, and with plenty of energy, he'll send this one away. Doesn't like what he sees, so we got a touchback. They're going to begin this drive at the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
So good field position to start with for the Vikings. It's first and 10. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. Finds him on the crossing route. He does it. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings take the lead on the first play of the drive.
Those front office personnel people love to pair speedy wide receivers and ask their coaches to do just that. Put some play action in there. Let him go run. Because with his speed, that route is a winner, chicken dinner.
That one splits the uprights. And the Vikings break that tie and now lead by 7.
Will Reichard
Here's Reichard set to kick this away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And he's out of bounds up across the 25.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Now Ryan Lyons just about ready. First and 10. Goff setting the throw. That's completed right side. And out of bounds he goes on that big pickup. They're inside the red zone now. They rip up a huge chunk of field as the downs reset.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. Hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field. The tone of this drive.
And he's taken down as they very quickly get into first and goal.
We go to the Super 180. Hold on. Check. What's that?
He'll work against the blitz. That throw's knocked away and hits the turf, so an incomplete pass means second and goal.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. The quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not two hands that got on the football.
So the incompletion on first. Here's second and goal.
Come on, 76, tell him. 120. Attack.
Gibbs. And he gets in. Touchdown. The Lions earn the chance to tie it before halftime. It's a Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown. That one right down the middle. And the Lions tie things up at 14. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. And he's going to field this one in the end zone without a return. So that's going to bring us out to the 35-yard line. So good field position to start with for the Vikings. It's first and 10. McCarthy throwing here. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Following the incompletion, we stay at the 35. It's second and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Brought in, Ty Felton. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. Give him an 18-yard pickup there. And the Vikings are going to have a first down.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
Here's McCarthy on first and 10. Couldn't connect right side. It's incomplete.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
No luck on first down. Here's second and 10. On play action now, McCarthy. The left side brought in by Hopkinson. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that means a fresh set of downs for Minnesota. The tight end in motion now. On first down, they'll run. He hurries forward here for a 9-yard gain. Second down, looking for options. And the stop is made 3 yards from the end zone. It's going to be first and goal. Vikings out of the hurry-up, need everyone back to the line.
That's another Vikings first down. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
From the red zone on first. This to the back of the end zone. Oh, but he ran out of room. Incomplete.
Well, it's hard for me to get too mad at him for missing a touchdown when he's already got 2 in his pocket. Maybe fantasy managers might not agree with me on this one, Kate. But don't worry, as hot as he is, I bet you a third one's coming at some point.
So the incompletion on first. Here is second and goal. From the shotgun, McCarthy. And he has the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings take the lead just before halftime. Manage that clock beautifully. Down to the final moments, Brock, and they get the score just before halftime.
That doesn't change the theme of the halftime speech, but I guarantee you it adds some enthusiasm to the tone. That was awesome.
Record there to tack on the extra points. And the Vikings break that tie and now lead by 7.
Lions 14. Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
One last play before the break.
Let's go tonight. Hardball. 180. We go. 76. 76.
Looking to throw. He puts him there under it deep down the left. This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to stop him, but he got enough to make it first and goal from the 8. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment.
Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
Here's Reichard set to kick this away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And this drive will start inside the 25.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Detroit offense to the line. Here's first and 10.
We go tonight. 180. 7.
Goff to the air now. Big strike here to Williams. And this one breaks beautifully as they're going to get it forward to their own 45.
It's a gain of 23
A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks. That's the trust. And then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
Just one play into this drive, and they are already sitting on their own 45. On first down, it's gone. And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice game. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. And it's gonna be second down.
That's a throw at this level. With so much speed and length, you got to be real careful. Rarely do you find a clean window down the middle. Got to be absolutely perfect, and it wasn't there.
180. Now we're home.
They'll toss it to Gibbs. And all he can get is a yard here, but it's going to be third down.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case, a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
Third down, line to gain, 9 yards out.
Five. Hard ball.
Third and long, they're going to throw. He's going deep this time. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. So that brings up fourth and long. The Lions readying for the punt. And this somehow is only going to be our first punt of the game. Only punted once in last week's loss, and he gets this one away. He fields this at the 18. And he gets his offense in better field position here to start. Up close to the 30. Minnesota into formation. It's first and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. He's going to get this one into enemy territory to the 47. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And the Vikings are going to have a first down.
You know, it is so refreshing for these running backs when they have space to run. It's hard. There's so many collisions between the tackles. When they get on the edge and have green grass, well, the best of them take advantage of it.
This is Jefferson, and he's got it. And they are set up excellently. This is down to the 18. How about 29 yards on first down? And that's good for a new set of downs.
A gain of 29 yards.
Off the play fake, it's McCarthy. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up second down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Off play action, it's McCarthy. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
3rd and 2, McCarthy. This one's caught. And this is going to be short. Quick stop by the defense. Bring up 4th down. It goes to the hurry-up offense here.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
Back to throw it. He's got it to his running back. And they come through to stay on the field. That is enough to set this offense up with a 1st and goal.
You just got to love that angle route. It's been around a long time, but think about it defensively, Kate. How many times do you see the backs out of the backfield or just run to the flat? The great running backs know how to plant their foot, sell that flat route, break it off to an angle, and break off the 1st down.
They send the tight end in motion. Back to the air, McCarthy. And this finds him in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings push their lead further to start the half. Reichert on for the point after. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Vikings double their lead to 14.
Lions 14. Will Reichert to kick off.
Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Return starts from the goal line. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
On the return, the Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Now Ryan Lyon's just about ready. 1st and 10.
We go tonight. 2 for 1. Black 20. Turbo.
We'll start on the ground with Gibbs. And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he could reach that 40. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains. On the 39 now after that explosive start to this drive.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Going to the ground again on 1st. Not the way to begin a new set of downs, Brock, as they drop it behind the line. That's a nice quick correction for this front, Brock. Give up the big play and then get a little back on the very next one.
Exactly the kind of response you want to see from your defense. You got to forget about the big play for now and stay focused on that next snap.
White 20. Hey, lift. 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 What's that?
Shotgun snap here to Goff. And he brings it in, but got too close to the sideline there. They're ruling him out of bounds. We've got 3rd down.
The best of the best, they just have this intuition, Kate. They know where the boundary is without looking. This receiver's not quite at that level yet. He lost track of where he was, and he brought it in, but out of bounds.
So Dan Campbell thought that he had something, but the challenge doesn't go as planned.
White 20. 2 for.
Goff on 3rd. And he didn't get enough into that throw. That's low and incomplete, so they're going to be facing 4th down coming up.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? Well, they chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
All right, looks like this is the moment. They're going to make their comeback push. They're going for it on 4th.
180.
And the play clock hits 0. This is going to be delay a game. Can't get the play off in time, and I'm going to wager the call's going to come in much quicker, Brock, for this next snap. So out now comes the punter. It's fielded at the 14. He gets his offense in better field position here to start. Up close to the 30.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. Sent out of bounds after a pickup of 6. 2nd-4 coming up.
It's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You could stick to the ground. You could throw beyond the sticks. You really create some indecision now defensively.
3 quarters in the books from this one. The Vikings hold both a football and a solid lead as they try to close this one out. Offensive line, this is 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. He put everything he had into this one. And again, an interception is dropped. Looked a whole lot like the last play, didn't it, partner? And again, the turnover escapes him. It's going to be 3rd down.
And 4.
McCarthy fires out wide, complete. And he's going to get this down inside the 30 before he's driven out. They get 40 on the big hitter. And that means a fresh set of downs for Minnesota. So the big play has him well into enemy territory and field goal range. They're inside the 30. Oh, he put everything he had into that throw. That's much too high and out of the end zone. Incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. So it's 2nd down coming up.
That is somebody it's tough to truly overthrow, but it can happen. And I know what he was thinking, Kate. I'm going to put this in the spot where only my guy gets it. Problem was, that spot was even too high for him.
2nd and 10, McCarthy. Has him on a quick hitter. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. An even 10-yard gain on the play. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Working inside the red zone. Completed over the middle. And he's going to be dropped with a big hit at the end of that. But the effort still sets him up with a 1st and goal.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Rolling out to the left. Cut.
McCarthy's pass complete to number 80. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and goal.
Nose of the football inside the 1. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. And he's going to score a touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings have likely locked up the win right there. It's a Justin Jefferson touchdown. It's plays like this that make him so well regarded across this league, Brock.
Yeah, such just a difference-making receiver, Kate. You expect him to be the target down here. You did, I did, the defenders did. What makes him a star is even when people know his number's being called, he still finds a way to deliver.
Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And he's going to head out of bounds on the return.
Devin Duvernay on the return. The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
First call here coming from the shotgun.
Yes, sir. Not 14, like 20.
Out of the shotgun, call. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And nice work by the defense to start this drive out. It's a sack on the first play.
We've learned how valuable sacks in a pass rush are in today's NFL. It's a bit surprising, isn't it, Kate, that that's their first sack of the game, but they found other ways to produce success on both sides of the ball, and they finally pick up a much-needed sack on that stat sheet.
Hits his tight end on the corner route. And he will get this inside the 30.
That's just so good. I mean, that is teaching tape right there. It's what you want your guys to do. To not just catch it and fall down, but have a plan. Yes, you got to catch it first, but then have a plan to go attack. Be aggressive. Get those yards after catch. That is a job well done.
Enough to Gibbs from the gun. Robbed by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
One thing I could say positive about the execution of that play
1 yard gain
is at least he didn't go backwards.
2nd and 9 at the Vikings 29-yard line.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. Another one for Gibbs. consecutive one-yard runs brings up 3rd and 8. We've reached the 2-minute warning in Detroit. Lions hoping to make it look a little better before time runs out. It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here.
120. What's that?
Throw here, 3rd down. Well, he laid out for it, but the throw just a little bit too off the mark. So 4th down coming up.
That's one of those 3rd down situations where you're asking an awful lot of your man to make a play to keep this drive going. Too much of a contested catch there, unable to bring it in.
Down big, they're going to exhaust all options, it appears. The offense lining up to go for this. Desperation time here. And that's going to wind up incomplete as their gamble doesn't pay off. They're going to turn this one over on down.
Hey, I get it. It's already over. But go down swinging. Unfortunately, that play, like so many of them today, Kate, has been pretty indicative of how this contest has gone.
Oh, Brock, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. Makes the grab in bounds, left side. And he takes this in. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings put up even more points in a win. Reichert on for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Vikings grow their lead yet again.
42. Lions 14. Will Reichert.
Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Chooses to bring this one out. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
First look, a little pistol formation as they come to the line. 1st and 10. Drive begins with Gibbs. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressive from this defense.
Well, you often see some mix, some high percentage pass plays on 1st and 10. You got to keep a defense honest. They're always looking for a run in that situation, and a chance to stack them up for 2nd and long.
Back to Gibbs now on 2nd. And that one doesn't give him much. Giving maybe a yard. It's 3rd down.
Brought down at the 18-yard line. That's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 12.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. Complete beyond the marker. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down. Detroit calls timeout. It's 2nd. And they're still going to have one left at their disposal.
Just excellent effort on that catch. And a lightning quick transition from bringing that football in to getting vertical. He was not content for a second to end that play where he caught it. Any catch he makes, his intent is to put some serious yards on top of it.
Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to have it. And he's going to hang on to that football. That's his first career interception.
Well, these were the kind of plays they needed, frankly, earlier in the game when it was still somewhat close. By this point, still a great play, but a bit of a hollow highlight with the game already decided.
All right, starting in the pistol this time, Brock. 1st and 10. Campbell going in motion left. They'll run here on 1st down. And he manages 6 yards to begin this one. We've got 2nd and 4. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3. So the Vikings pick up the win on the road. Man, they were facing a top 5 defense this week, Brock, but they made them look anything but. What a great performance to get this win.
Yeah, you could come in, Kate, with this awe and mystique of, gosh, we're facing one of the best defenses in the league, but as soon as you get those first points, you realize, you know what? They're mortal just like the rest of us, and they took the fight right to them.